I ended up getting into furries.
Like, furries? What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode 3 of the podcast. It's Hunter.
And it's Joelle here. How are y'all doing?
So I was thinking we could take today's episode to kind of look at some of your earlier artwork. You can kind of explain where you were in life at that time, what kind of inspired the pieces, and maybe what they mean to you kind of today, and if you like them still or not. So do you have anything like that with you right now?
Yes, I do. I am prepared. So I guess I want to start with the art that I was making in like 2020 when I made like the full decision that I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to stop telling people that I want to be an artist, and I was just like, I was changing my vocabulary and my lingo to like, oh, I'm an artist. Hi. So let's escape our dimension. Basically represented me finally deciding that I can leave the reality that I was in, which was the conventional dog show life, something I didn't want to be in anymore, and it was making me absolutely miserable. And I was like, you know what? I was literally having a dog show when I made this piece and the 3 in the series, and I was working with oil pastels at this time. So 2020 was when I was working with a bunch of mediums, trying to figure out what I wanted to work with, what I liked. Which later I found out it's everything. I cannot be held down, cannot be tied at all to any medium. I'm just so fluid like that. But this piece is really important to me just because of it being that, like, it's kind of like a landmark, not a landmark? A totem? What would that be?
Like the Hallmark piece?
The Hallmark piece, yes. And then, let me leave camera real quick. And then that same weekend, I think I made all these pieces in like the same week. So things that I was learning was that it was okay to go after my dreams. It was okay for me to want to escape the reality that I was in, because one thing about being here on Earth is that you can realize, or once you realize your full potential is that you can manifest the reality that you're in. You start realizing how much power you actually have in stepping into the vibration that you want. Now, mine took me 3 years, so it's like divine timing type that's gonna happen when, you know, you're trying to leave the reality that you're in, because it's a vibration type thing, and you have to also let go of limiting beliefs. And I know that all I wanted was love at that time, so here is this piece called, I forgot the name? Energy of Love. This one, these 3 are actually really popular amongst the stickers, but it's called Energy of Love. I think I was seeing someone new at this time, but I knew that like I had to fully love myself, which I still didn't accomplish in that era. It was a journey like anyone else's self-love journey. And then I made this piece called Reach for Your Dreams. And it's probably one of my favorites, mainly just because of the booties, because that's fire. But you see these 3 characters looking up at this light of this dream of theirs, and there's only one person reaching for it. So it's like, are you gonna be one of those people that are gonna sit back and stare at what you want all your life and never reach for it? Or are you gonna be that one person who's gonna reach for it and is gonna break those karmic generational cycles of not following what you want to do? And I feel like something that's really important in my life is that I made the decision that I wasn't gonna follow what everyone else wanted me to do, because it brought me such misery. It didn't feel right for me, and it's like everyone was like telling me, well, Joe, you could do XYZ while still balancing XYZ, and I'm like, hold on. I know that's what you think I want or what could happen, but that's not what I want still. Like, yeah, that could bring me money, or like the dog shows. I thought I was going to be a professional handler all my life. So it was really me having to step up out of this group of people that were like, I don't know how to explain dog shows. Dog shows is like your own little world of a spiral loop that you're just kind of stuck in. And I wanted to break free from that, for real. I wanted to break the hell out of that because it was not serving me anymore. It made me miserable every time I woke up. I'd literally have to put my brain on brainwash mode. Basically, when I woke up every morning to like take care of the dogs, I'd be like, I'm having a great day. Time flies by so fast. Time moves fast in my reality. I am doing great. I am so happy. And meanwhile, I'm like actually in the energy of misery, still trying to convince myself of what I want. So yeah, that's like those three.
And were those kind of what you consider to be your first three pieces, or were those kind of like just early inspirations for you?
Definitely early inspirations, because I was trying to depict things in my reality or emotions I was feeling, and I wanted to try telling other people, hey, wait a second, I'm learning that we could actually leave the reality that we're in and we can choose what we want. So those are kind of like hallmarks of that era in 2021. Because I have a lot of pieces from 2020 where I was channeling in spirit guides without even realizing it, which we can get into more of if you want. I don't know.
Yeah, do you have an example of that?
Yes, I do. I don't have like one of the first ones I channeled in. I gave that piece to my sibling, my twin sister, because she liked it so much. And I didn't necessarily want anyone else to have my spirit guide in their home. So one of the first pieces that I channeled is this piece called Rotten Chakras. And this was probably the first piece that I had made within 2 weeks using oil. I'm gonna put it behind me so that you can probably see it. In the corner? No. Okay. So this is like end of 2021 when I made this piece, and I remember I was just getting into Insane Clown Posse and whatnot, and they were inspiring me with the clowns and the juggalo-ness because I'm a juggalo. Welcome, juggalos. And I...
What is a juggalo? Hold on. What is a juggalo?
A juggalo is literally just an Insane Clown Posse fan.
And Clown Posse is...
Insane Clown Posse, it's a music group.
Okay.
Like Shaggy 2 Dope and who else? Dang, I forgot his other name. Violent J.
I know no things of what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Womp, womp. Boring.
I know.
Yeah, so I was dealing with a lot of like my internal violence back then, because like I had a lot of pent up inner child rage, teenage rage. So I would express my own violence through songs that are violent, you know? You know how we are as kids.
Sure.
So I'm getting into the clowniness that I'm resonating with, because I love clowns. I think it was the fact that I was wearing a mask, or that you're wearing a mask to be yourself, was what I was drawn to. But anyways, back to the rotten chakras. I know my chakras were unhealed at this point. I felt rotten almost, but I sketched out this idea I had of basically all 7 of the chakras being like rotten and clowny almost, and I wanted to depict that.
So, in your art process, do you go straight into painting, or do you have an idea of what you're going to go into when you start?
It depends on the painting. Sometimes I'll have like a physical idea where I sketch it out, and then other times I go into it and I just create without any thought process. So this was one of the ones where I had a sketch. I didn't have any of the colors planned, but I knew that I wanted to make this design, so I started creating it, and just slowly they started building themselves. And it happened like, my friend literally told me, she was like, you finished that piece really fast. And I was like, yeah, I don't know why or how, but it did just happen like that, because usually I'm spending like so much time on these pieces. But they came out pretty snazzy. But then I later made a friend who can project into other realities when she's stoned, which is so cool. And she was telling me how they're literally deities from another reality that I channeled in, and they're basically almost forgotten in that reality. So they found it very warm that I was sharing them and channeled them in. And I also posted it on TikTok, a story about it, and someone literally commented that they started working with the red chakra being. He likes to be called Red. He's very tall. But essentially each chakra color represents what they can help with. So grounding, I I can't even, because I wasn't the projector getting all the information. I should have gotten all the information, but I didn't. The top 3 are wind spirits, though, so that's really cool. You can work with these deities. I just channeled them in, and I still haven't worked with them, but they're always around me, and I feel like they're always with me somehow, some way. So yeah, that was probably the first time I realized I'm like, oh, I'm channeling things now, because I remember writing in my little journal book, I was like asking my spirit guides to show me themselves, and you have to give permission to your team and your angels, to your team and your angels to like let them come in and whatnot. So I was like, show yourselves to me, and then they went, LOL, draw me, and I was like, okay, sure.
So is that what kind of inspires the earlier paintings you showed to have like personifications, like the people in them? What kind of started you drawing like the human figures that you have in there, as opposed to some of your more abstract stuff, or when you start working with animals later on?
Wait, you actually want to know the true root origin story of why anatomy is so drawn to me?
That's the goal, right?
Y'all are gonna hate me so much. All right, let me paint the scene. It's 6th grade, right? Second year into art. So digital drawing has like just started. So I started with digital art, surprisingly enough. Besides that, like, yeah, I started with anime drawing and whatnot. I go on this platform called SprayCan. If you knew what SprayCan was, you are a real one, you're an OG, and I don't ever want to say my username in case somebody knows who I am, but I don't know if those are remembered at all, but basically it's this community of artists, digital artists, and I ended up getting into furries. That's how I made my start with anatomy, was furries.
Sorry, like furries?
So you know how I'm painting like demon, or like, it's not demons, they're just different personifications. Yeah, because furries aren't accepted anymore, so they never were accepted. I'd like to change the narrative on that. Accept your local furry, thank you.
No.
Yo, I'm sorry. They are dropping 10 grand on these suits. They are not broke. They are putting their work into what they need. So I don't know. I feel like they're working their ass off. They're doing something that makes them happy. If it's not interfering with me, then as long as that bestiality shit, like, get the out my trap house.
But like, how far are they from bestiality?
I don't want to answer this question.
Okay. I'm just gonna put that one out there.
This is so exposing of me. Like, literally being in 6th grade role-playing, like, smuts with furries, like...
No.
Y'all, what was I doing? Like, what was I doing? And then at some point, I think my sibling, Huh?
Did you say 6th grade?
6th grade, guys. 6th grade.
What
I was
are you
12.
doing in middle school?
I was in middle school. What do you think? Like, that's the type of that happens in middle school, my friend. And also the other girl that was really popular in my drawing in my school, I had like some type of like jealousy against her because I loved her art so much and I couldn't make it. But she did like the human art type furries, like the ones with like cat ears and the tail, like almost like a cat. I don't even want to say the word, but yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know. I have friends that were furries and stuff, and I think it's mainly what I was drawn to was the freedom of expression in creating your own characters in your original stories and being able to be something you weren't. I think I've always had a fascination with that, like, just like how I was talking about Insane Clown Posse, I was drawn to because of, like, I love clowns and I love the masks. It was another way to hide yourself, but also, like, it wasn't me doing that. Oh, this is just... We don't have to talk about that anymore. Because I was...
Okay.
I was like an innocent 12-year-old, not being innocent, but still simultaneously innocent as I guess we
Like
got
not knowing what you were getting into or something?
I think I was well aware of what I was in.
Oh, that might make it worse. Okay.
Yeah.
For reference, I was homeschooled growing up. So I didn't go to middle school. So I hear everyone
aren't you
talking
lucky?
about I hear everyone talking about the traumas they had in middle school. I know none of them.
Aren't you lucky? Aren't you just lucky? I'm realizing that I have like stuff from middle school and elementary school I'm still like kind of wanting to forget about, but this is helping it come out. I forget
A little
them,
bit
whatever.
of resentment.
A little bit of resentment, yeah, for real. So where were we? That's where anatomy came from. I've always been obsessed with anatomy. My sibling is my older sibling, Allspice. It taught me a lot when we were younger. It was like mean to me because it thought I was like copying them all the time, and I was like, I'm not. I'm just inspired, but okay. So that built up more shame for my art. And
Sure.
Yeah, but the anatomy I've always been obsessed with, so that's always what I just gravitated towards because I'm obsessed with like the female body, but not particularly the male body. So anyways, let me show you this. This is like one of the first types of bodies that I was drawing. It's like very much so, let's see if the camera will focus. It might be too bright, but the little anime girls with the thigh gap and the hands behind the arms because I didn't want to draw hands. So it's like, where were we in questions? Like,
How you got better at drawing the form.
yeah, practice, and then observation drawings, reference drawings, staring at how, like, at this point, like, because of the bodybuilding, I understand now how the arm looks at, like, almost every direction, pretty much, just because of how much I have, like, stared at myself in the mirror while I'm literally flexing weights, so I'm, like, have nothing to do other than stare. And be like, okay, so this is moving that way. This line goes this way when my leg is at this position. So it's like you have to learn foreshortening and perspective and all that, but literally it's practice. I have this piece called Practice. Look at her.
Oh, it's thick.
Oh, it's thick. It's like, it's a mountain that's gonna be made. I call this piece Practice Makes Perfect because it's literally all the oil paint that I've ever used just discarded onto a canvas. It's quite beautiful.
Love that.
It's gonna be quite beautiful. I'm excited for what it makes when it's done because this is one of those pieces that I'm just allowing it to make itself out of junk. Not junk. It's like I don't like wasting. I'm a hoarder in a way. But back into human anatomy. So you can see this piece up here. Point. That one's called Calmly Feel Myself Evolving, and it's also part of like the chakra series. Imagine, so you got rotten chakras, they're all out of balance, they're rotten, they look like a little bit like clowny. And then this one is to be alignment, so Calmly Feel Myself Evolving. I started that in like July of last year, and I couldn't work on the blue one. I think this is like a completely different story that I'm picking up on again. Whatever.
That's okay.
So, I had the idea of that one that while I was at the fair, jotted it down, started getting home and painting it. And then I painted all the way up to the heart chakra because I think that I couldn't, no, not that I think, it was literally, I couldn't start the blue one until I started working on my own throat chakra. So it was like, I couldn't even finish this piece until I evolved, which I finally finished last week. And I feel quite evolved from the being I was when I started the idea, you know? Okay, so what was your question?
That's a good question. Oh, I wanted to know where you stood on kind of signing your work, how you do it. Do you think people go overboard with it, or is it a protection thing? Maybe a little bit of both.
Both. Also, like, I don't like signing the fronts of my canvases. I think signatures on the front kind of look ugly. It like immediately just throws me off. It's like not in like anybody else's work. Like other people can sign their work and it looks great. In mine, I'm like, that's distracting. That's not fun. But if I were to like post online, I try to post like photos of the piece that clearly show my studio to protect myself, because if somebody has like the raw image, they could easily go do some bad things with it.
No, that's fair. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So you don't like putting your signature on the front of it then?
Not particularly.
Okay. Is that just because you don't think it matches the rest of the style, or you don't like your signature?
I don't like my signature.
Okay. Is that just because why? Do you know?
I need to like go finish my art classes so I can like figure out how I want to sign my name. Because your signature is like, it's a signature. And I have like 2 different signatures that I flip between, which is like Joe Sip and then full Joelle Cipriotti.
Right.
I honestly at this point thinking that Cipriotti just might be a sleigh.
Yeah, just fully commit to it.
Yeah, to Cipriotti, because like that's an artist's last name. Like,
yeah, it is.
Cipriotti. Oh. All right, so what was you gonna say?
I was just gonna ask if you found a lot of people related with some of your art more than others when you take them to a show. What kind of sells the best, and is it, you think, because they relate with it, or just because it's maybe your best piece? Do you see any correlation between those two things?
So again, back to like when I was originally writing my goals with my art, I always wrote there's going to be a piece that resonates with at least one person. Like, sorry, there's going to be a piece that resonates with at least one person. Like, there's a piece for everybody. And 2, I wanted to evoke emotions in people that they don't think about, that they kind of repress or are hiding. And so what I found is people pretty much have been resonating with all of it. Like, I've had people flip through my book and say, me and my wife have the topic of what art should be, and this book embodies the entire thing. And this is like the work that I produced in like 2020 to 2022. And I was like, whoa. So what sells the best is stickers, because another thing that I want to do is be able to have access to the art for every price range, because like original pieces, they can be expensive, and I'm attached to my originals, so I'm gonna make them expensive. It's like, if you really want this out of my gallery, you're gonna have to like make it worth it for me. But I need to also start letting go of some energies, and that's okay. But yeah, I find people resonate with a majority of it, which perfectly ties into this piece. Don't forget to take your meds, kids. It's like, I wanted to be able to visually describe what's happening to me, because I'm not a word person, or at least I thought I wasn't. My reality was telling me I wasn't a word person. I am a word person. I'm actually very good at words. Thank you. Me trying to convince myself. That is active brainwashing. But yeah, this piece literally came from me not taking my meds for 3 months. And I started seeing this dude in my head. I started seeing it because I have a very active imagination, but I literally started seeing exactly what I needed to do, but I didn't know how to produce it. I thought there was going to be yellow in this. But essentially what I did was literally take the blue paint. You can look at the back. I abused out of this canvas. I was punching it. I was slapping it. I was letting my internal energy out. So me allowing myself to use my subconscious basically helps me connect to other people, because we're all subconsciously in a way dealing with something like that. So it's like the newer pieces are now touching even more deeper into that, and allowing your right brain to now tap in and explore the energy, the visuals, what's happening in the pieces, to hopefully tie into other people's experiences, but also like describe mine because I don't even know what I'm doing. There's a new TikTok sound and it goes, I don't know how I did it, I just know it was hard. That.
Yeah, it's super relatable.
Right? And this piece also came after I learned more mark making techniques with Milan Art Institute. They offer a free 50 brush strokes course, and they have a ton of free courses too, by the way, if you want to check them out. I support Milan Art Institute with my chest, my life. Best experience ever. If you don't want to lose your creativity, still have that creative freedom, and be guided by professionals that like know that you can make it as an artist. They also provide like, it's not titled spiritual stuff, but it's spiritual stuff, like your own well-being and like having, like knowing that you're in the reality that you are. So that helped me solidify like, oh my God, this person's literally teaching me things that I know, but also have to act more on to confirm my reality. So yeah, if you were looking for a good art school, Milan Art Institute, because you can do it online at your own pace. And yeah, it's a lot more affordable than college school. Little promo.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored.
Sponsor us, but not sponsored.
Yeah.
That would be cool,
Not
though.
sponsored. That'd be cool as hell. I need to talk to them, see if, do I want to be a mentor? I don't know. I don't think my art's where I want it to be at. So, something they talk about is how you can have a certain vision for your art, but you don't have the techniques, so you're always trying to catch up to it, right? It's like you're always trying to catch up, like develop new techniques, but then your vision expands. You develop techniques and then your vision expands, and that's like exactly what I've been doing, especially with these like Rorschach ones. Back in December, I had this vision. I was literally writing it down. I was like, all right, new creation time, rewriting down what I want my art to be. And I was like, I want it to show the energy of the unhealed aspects of chakras. And I didn't know how I was going to do this at all, but I kept on seeing the visions of them in my head. And I'm like, how is this going to happen? But I trusted the process. And then it turned into literally like 7 to 30-minute pieces being made with my subconscious talking. And then I realized, I'm like, oh my God, I'm making the art that was in my vision and my technique is finally there. But now, guess what happened? Vision has expanded. Technique is not where I needed to be at again. So, truly all
that
my
keeps
art...
you moving.
Sorry?
That keeps you moving forward, though, too, and motivated, I think.
Yes, because like, the difference, you can see the elevation from this to this, you know? Like you can see the development of my art in my portfolio, which I think is beautiful to see. I love a good, like, I don't know, I like sharing that like my art's transformed for some reason. I don't know why. It's just like, I want you to see all the different versions of me, but I don't want to just tell you that I've been through stuff. Here's the art to show you that I've been through stuff. Ooh.
No, I love that. I wanted to talk about you teaching art. I know you have a little experience in that. What kind of topics did you cover in your art? And what did you find that people struggled the most with? And why do you think that is?
I actually can answer this. Okay, so I don't necessarily want to teach all the art. I don't like doing that, I found out. I like teaching people that they are inherently a creative being without having to be an artist. I want to teach people to tap into their subconscious, which I've done like my own, like I'll meet somebody in public where I have my sketchbook and my scribble and we're talking and I literally give them a page and I say, start scribbling for me. Because it helps them start tapping into that right brain, scribbling, and then as they're talking, they're just talking and scribbling, and then you start hearing what they're talking about, watching what their hands are doing, and it's just like, I don't know what's happening psychologically, but I need to find out. It's just subconscious expressionism, exactly what I invented. And some people either start giving like distortions of like what they're talking about, and like so this one girl was talking about how it was like cyclical things happening in her family, and her hand starts doing a figure 8, and I'm like, yeah, because your subconscious is literally telling you that you're in a loop, like that you need to break out of. And then this one guy who was an artist, he graduated from like Philadelphia art school. When he did his, you saw a little angel kind of grabbing someone and holding them. So it's like, I believe our subconscious or our team is literally talking to us, guiding to us, because when you start doing that automatic writing, scribbling basically, you're allowing access to that. So like for his, I know that he was a veteran, and he had a lot of probably trauma built up from that, and I basically was like, okay, I see that there's an angel in this, and I just want to like share my angel thoughts towards you, for you. And then, yeah. So yeah, that's what I like teaching. I feel like a lot of people have problem trusting themselves, and it's the limiting beliefs. Everyone believes that they're not talented. Everyone believes for some reason that they don't have a gift, and I'm like, the reason that I have this right now is this is 13 years of work, like practice. Like I'm a professional in this field. It's like I wouldn't go up to a doctor and be like, oh, I'm not talented in the medical field. They have practice. So it's like I want to teach people to not be so hard on themselves and to give themselves grace when they're trying something new, and to tap into that creative energy, because we're all taught to be left brain dominant, that we're not tapping into the right side where you need to release these things that are holding on within you. And just scribbling will help you do that. Just scribbling, man.
No, that's great advice. I really like that. All right, so we are gonna end the episode there. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back next week with episode 4. So be sure to like this video, comment below what you would like us to talk about, and subscribe so that you see our next videos and anything else we put out. We have a bunch of content coming out for you guys that we would love for you guys to see.
And announcement, I guess. I'll be gallery director at the upcoming art and music festival called Camp Rockwood. It's Lucid Dream. I think it's Lucid Dream Festival. It is April 19th to the 21st. So if you want to come out and be in an area that is with a lot of like-minded people, spiritual, music-loving, art-loving people. And also I'll be having like my gallery there, all my art there, and we have very talented people coming. If you want to come have fun, come have fun. We'll put that, it's on my Instagram. Sip of Joelle, oh yeah, go check out the Instagram, Sip of Joelle, TikTok is Sip of Joe. And yeah.
Other than that, we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace out. All right, swag.